Equal pay advocates have put the government on notice. Women are not going to accept its radical overhaul of pay equity laws without a fight. Legislation to enable the shock reforms is being whipped through Parliament under urgency. Senior political correspondent Jenna Lynch looks at the fight that's brewing.
To be a care and support worker is more than a full-time job.
How many sugars? Just one, thank you.
Yeah, 2 please.
Because the full-time pay isn't enough to get by.
To make more money, you do more hours. You're doing longer hours. You are screaming out for more work. So you could do 12, 15-hour days, 5 days a week, or you could do 7 days a week. You're just piling in the hours, becoming cripplingly tired, burnt out.
So when Kate Halsell found out yesterday the pay equity claim she and her colleagues had been working on was being ripped up and sent back to square one by the government, upset doesn't really describe it.
Pure anger, rage. It felt like for the last 3 years we've been fighting for nothing. We're going back to nowhere.
She's not the only one.
Axing pay equity claims that people have worked for, the last 20, 30 years, just to save a budget, I think is an outrage.
Former Equal Employment Opportunities Commissioner Dame Judy McGregor is astounded.
I think it's a cruel abuse of human rights, and I think that the government will pay for it. I don't think women will take this lying down.
The impact on human rights was considered by Cabinet, but they've released blank pages, completely redacting the advice they got.
Having been an equal pay advocate and a former human rights commissioner, I was stunned and shocked, both at the process and at the result.
The process, it was rushed through Parliament with no public consultation and without even drawing up the necessary impact documents the government was required to. The Cabinet paper even says it does not meet Cabinet's requirements for regulatory proposals.
It's up to the people to judge whether that's acceptable. I think people will say, we understand that they didn't follow every rule in terms of RIS, but we think that's okay this time.
The government always has the right and the ability to do that if Parliament agrees.
So you just pick and choose when you would like to do good lawmaking or bad lawmaking?
That's the way the government operates.
Urgency is always a last resort for bad governance, in my opinion. The fact that it was introduced so rapidly without any prior notification and without a mandate from the public, either for National or ACT to do this, I think just shows how cynical it is as a budget response.
That claim is something the Finance Minister is vehemently denying, despite David Seymour saying yesterday the policy had saved her budget.
We think that Brooke van Velden has saved the taxpayer billions. She's saved the budget for the government.
Speaker, I understand from my colleague Mr Seymour that he was speaking as ACT leader when he made that statement, not Associate Finance Minister. The words the ACT leader chose are not what I would choose.
But he stands by them.
What is more important, saving her budget or ensuring women are paid enough?
Mr Speaker, I reject the characterisation in the first part of the question.
It's certainly the message that's carried.
How are we going to fill the deficit? I know. Why don't we let low-paid women in New Zealand save us?
The Prime Minister didn't show at Parliament today.
He should be here to explain what his government's doing, to answer questions on it, but just like the Treaty Principles Bill, having created a controversy, he's now running away from it.
Leaving his ministers to mop it up. The Minister for Women dismissing the concerns of women.
This is positive news for women.
She should stand down, and every woman in the coalition government should hang their head in shame.
Yes, I do stand by that statement. Supporting women to economic empowerment is my number one priority as the Minister for Women.
I cannot believe that any woman would support this bill, putting women on the back foot like it does.
And as politicians lined up to defend themselves today, Kate is preparing for the next steps. She knows exactly what she's going to do.
Fight. Fight hard. Fight for the next generations. Fight for my nieces. Fight for my daughter. Fight for all the females who are coming up behind me. They need to be recognised.
Fight again for fair pay.
Well, kia ora, Jenna. So where are we now? Has the bill passed yet?
Not quite. The politicians have been debating this all day. They have reached the third reading
of the bill, but they've taken a pause for a valedictory speech. Just before then, Finance Minister Nicola Willis showed up for a speech on the bill. From what I understand, she was not given a speaking slot, but she specifically requested to speak on this one, wanting to show up and be accountable. Now, that comment from David Seymour yesterday has obviously gone down like a cup of cold sick with her. She was pretty uncomfortable with it in the budget, and the coalition dynamics on this are really interesting. ACT is taking a lot of credit for it. It's really comfortable talking about the savings that it's going to generate. National, very much less so. They're acknowledging that there are billions of dollars saved, but they don't want to talk about how much it is, and they certainly don't want to be boasting about it. But come budget day, that number will be revealed and women will be looking for it. They already know that they are the losers of this budget, but they will be looking to see the quantum of the loss.
OK, Jenna, thank you for that.